The Go-Giver by Burg and John David Mann. What if I told you the secret to getting rich is giving more away? It sounds backwards, right? But that's exactly what this powerful book argues. The authors make a bold claim. The people who build the greatest wealth in the world aren't the biggest takers. They're the biggest givers. The story follows Joe, an ambitious sales professional determined to hit his goals and make it big. When his usual hustle isn't getting him anywhere, a coworker introduces him to a wildly successful businessman named Pindar. Pindar is known for his generosity and mindset. Joe tells Pindar he wants to make a huge sale before the end of the quarter. He's chasing someone with clout and influence. Instead, Pindar offers something better: mentorship and 5 introductions to his friends. Each of these 5 people are business leaders, real high performers. They teach Joe the 5 laws of stratospheric success, principles that completely reshape how he thinks about business, relationships, and giving. But there's a catch. Pindar gives Joe one rule. He must apply each lesson the very same day he learns it. As Joe follows through, his life changes fast. His thinking, his results, and his definition of success all transform as he discovers the power of giving. Let's talk about those laws. The first law of stratospheric success is the law of value. It states that your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. It's about trying to give people more than you're getting from them. Who doesn't like to feel like they're getting a good deal? Massive fortunes in the world have been created by people who had a greater passion for what they were giving, their product, service, or idea, than for what they were getting. And many fortunes have been lost by others who had a greater passion for what they were getting than what they were giving. That's why the authors recommend to give, 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 give. Why? Because you love to. It's not a strategy, it's a way of life. To Joe, this sounded like a recipe for disaster. How could you give so much without taking payment? It didn't make sense until the next lesson was presented. The second law of stratospheric success is the law of compensation. This law says your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Martin Luther King Jr. once said the powerful quote, "Everyone can be great because anyone can serve." Have you ever noticed a lot of businesses that thrive are the ones that have a strong desire to serve a particular group or market? The idea here is your compensation is directly tied to how many lives you touch. There are 2 amazing things about this. First, you get to determine your level of compensation. It's under your control. If you want more success, find a way to serve more people. It also means there are no limitations on what you can earn, because you can always find more people to serve. The more people you help and the more value you provide, the more successful you will eventually become. The third law of stratospheric success is the law of influence. It says your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. After a long day of work, Joe listened to his wife complain about her job and explain the troubles she was dealing with. Joe was tired, but he gave full attention to his wife, placing her interests above his own. The day after, Joe received a handwritten note of appreciation and love from his wife. It was a beautiful moment in the book, of taking action and seeing the impact. The authors say, if you place other people's interests first, your interests will always be taken care of. It's like a natural law of the universe. Here's a great quote from the book. "Watch out for the other guy. Watch out for their interests. Watch their back. Forget about 50-50. 50-50 is a losing proposition. The only winning proposition is 100%. Make your win about the other person. Go after what they want. Forget win-win. Focus on the other person's win." With this mindset, you can create a network of people who know, like, and trust you. Some of them may never buy a thing from you, but they will always have you in the back of their minds. They trust you and would refer you or help if you need. The authors call this your army of personal walking ambassadors, where the people you know are invested in your success and you are invested in theirs. The fourth law of stratospheric success is the law of authenticity. It says, the most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. Something special happens when you're able to be yourself. It's not an easy thing to do necessarily, but when you do it, doors that would have never opened for you before will open. A lot of us feel that we need to pretend to be someone to be successful. But in order to achieve stratospheric success, you need to be comfortable in your own skin. No matter what your training, no matter your skills, no matter what area you're in, you are your most important commodity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is you. The fifth and final law of stratospheric success is the law of receptivity. It says the key to effective giving is staying open to receiving. You may know the famous saying that it's better to give than to receive. And while there is truth to that, it's also important to be open to receiving. Have you ever helped someone, but when they try to help you at a later time, you denied their help? Not because you didn't need it, but because you weren't comfortable accepting or receiving their help. Many of us do that, but the Go-Giver method rejects this practice. If you're not letting yourself receive, you're refusing the gifts of others, and you shut down the flow. Just as you can't inhale without exhaling. The authors say you should love to give, but also love to receive. So allow others to give to you. The story finishes with Joe successfully taking action on all 5 laws and winning the sales deal of a lifetime. As a recap, here are the 5 laws of stratospheric success. The law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. The law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. The law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. The law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. And finally, the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. You can only see the real power of this book if you start taking action today. Go give. Make the world a better place, and success will follow. That's all for The Go-Giver by Bob Burg and John David Mann. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found the video to be helpful.